What is up, you guys? What is up? What is up? Coming at you with the ultra low latency that I fixed last time. Should be all good. Should be motherfucking tip top. Tip top. Coolio. Let me know how you guys' day's going. My day's going pretty well. I had a haircut this morning. Came home, drank some coffee, ate some food. I'm doing the live stream right now. After this, I'll probably I gotta go to the gym, train someone. After that, there's like a bunch of things I could do. I could work on some Spanish again, trying to do that a little bit every single day. I gotta work out later on tonight. I mean, it's kind of like a non-stop thing, so you already know how that goes. But yeah, just staying up on everything, you know? How That's how it be. Gotta stay busy. Gotta stay working. You guys have any questions about anything fitness related? Let me know. Let me know if you guys live chat. There you go. Anything fitness related, video game related, MMA related, you guys can ask me any questions. Probably wouldn't. You're scary, bro. You're scary. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I fight someone who's scary? Duh. I'm pretty sure if you were scared of someone, you wouldn't fight them either. I mean, look at your name and your picture. Man, that's creepy. A gray person. That's real scary. Yeah, that's too intimidating for me. I can't deal with that, bro. I can't deal with that, bro. Hit the toe Rogan's up button. What does that mean? What does that mean? Your toe Rogan up button. Your toe Rogan up button. I'm assuming you're a fan of Joe Rogan then? Sounds like Joe Rogan. You look like a thumb toe. Your profile picture looks like a thumb. How's your day, bro? What are you doing? I've just been staying busy. Got a back workout later on. Um, yeah, I'm on the last week of my volume blocks. That's pretty cool. Got a lot of volume to do this week. Means got to eat a lot of food. Just working on a fitness paper in the meantime. Waiting for a couple people to get in here. Got any questions, you guys can ask me. Again, they could be about anything. If they're too weird, I probably want to answer the question, but maybe I'll play along. What's up? Anyone coming in? Got any questions? You can ask me them. Smith Iron asks, "What are the best exercises to get a fighter's physique?" Um, well, I mean, fighter physiques are kind of wide. They're um they're pretty broad. There's not one physique. I mean, if you look at Yoel Romero, I mean the guy's jacked. But then if you look at someone like Daniel Cormier, who's still pretty fit, like fitness wise, doesn't look like a fighter. But I'm assuming you mean like a more athletic looking. I would say it's just a combination of they are doing exercises that cause hypertrophy. So their intent for training isn't hypertrophy. That's not their goal. It's performance. But in that sense, they are going to see some hypertrophy. But because a lot of the MMA fighters incorporate a lot of cardio based work, you have to remember that cardio has opposing adaptations to like hypertrophy adaptations. Um, so because cardio has opposing adaptations to hypertrophy adaptations, when you combine the two, you don't get you don't get like a jacked bodybuilder look, but you get like you get almost like the combination of like what a marathon runner and what a bodybuilder smashed together would look like, which is what you get for MMA. So yeah, I would just it's they're not training for hypertrophy, but if you want to kind of mimic that, like have hypertrophy training, but include a lot of cardio based work into your program, so you'll get that muscular look, but you'll get that kind of like not too big, more leaner, leaner look to them. A lot of the things they do too is really dynamic. So like they don't train like bodybuilders. They do things a lot more dynamic. They don't they're working in multiple different planes of movement. Um, What's up, Jamie Chalmers? Sorry if I said that wrong. What up? But yeah, so I would just say that combine. I mean, you could just train like an train like an MMA fighter, and you should get that physique over time. But to kind of simplify, is hypertrophy training, more dynamic hypertrophy training, combined with a good amount of cardio, and that'll definitely get you a good athletic looking physique. And then also too, it's unspoken is uh you have to watch what you eat. If you don't watch what you eat, then it doesn't really matter. You're not gonna get lean. Uh, Man, Bear Pig and Peter both said, "How you doing, bro?" And you're a beast. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. Hey, I would if you're here, Carson. I would if you're here. What if you're here? Damn, fucking YouTube has some weird ass people. It's funny. That's the one thing about YouTube is it's really funny. Um, you can go on like any regular video, and a lot of the times the top comments on YouTube videos are either arguments, shit talking, or something funny. Opinion on Islam? I don't have an opinion on that. I'm not about to turn this live stream into that right now. That's a hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm not calling you weird, but if the shoe fits, wear it, okay? The shoe fits, wear it. You better slide your beautiful foot right into those beautiful that beautiful shoe. Well, that's there you go. He answered the question for you. Suck an egg? What kind of what is this, like the PG insults? The what? Thanks, I guess. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. You don't speak, stupid bum face? What? What kind of insults are these? These seem like compliments. You guys came up the woodworks, huh? You're so cash money. What's wrong with you, bro? It's your, not your. You are. Come on, Carson. Come on, man. That's. Thanks, bro. Just got it earlier. It's a fade. Clean, man. Appreciate it. I'm surprised you can see that from there. I got when I was younger, I got hit in the head with a ladder. So it left like a scar. I can't even see that far on my screen. I guess I'm not looking at it from a phone or something. Appreciate it. You're like my biggest fan, Jamie. Like my biggest fan. I'm actually trying to gain weight, so thank you. That's honestly my goal. I'm doing a vlog today, and I just said that on my last clip. Am I ready to collect Iranian scalps? That's savage, man. I don't know about that, but yeah, Peter, I'm actually trying to gain weight because I'm trying to hit a 500 deadlift in like a month. I'm gonna try to go for a PR, so hopefully I can get it. And then after that, I'll do a cut, and then at the end of my cut, I'll do a physique update for the people who wanna see. Yeah, I want to gain weight. You gain weight, it's just easier to gain muscle. It's easier to get stronger. I mean, you could be a little bit more intelligent with the caloric surplus, but it's just a little. Uh, it's just easier. It's easier for adherence just to kind of eat a lot of food. So, um, what's my goal in life? I have a lot of goals, Kate. Damn, bro, you guys are thirsty as fuck. You guys ain't got a girl, Peter, Jamie? All that big gamer talking? Oh, you guys are fucking weird. Like at least 100. At least 100. If it's not 100, it don't. Lil Fire and Lil Icy said, "What is a good workout to get a six pack in a day?" Shh, you can get a six pack in a day, unless you're already pretty lean. And you could do that. You have to be an intelligent caloric deficit, and depending on how overweight you are, or what your body fat percentage is at, starting, it varies. If you're already like maybe 20% body fat, you're probably not too far from getting down to like 12%, maybe like 3, 4, 5 months, 3 months, something like that. But I mean, if you're like 30, 40, 40% body fat, it's going to take you longer. So it varies from like 3 months to a couple years. So you're at 22.7%. So if you're at 22.7%, um, I would say like between like probably around 4 or 5 months is a safe estimate to drop like 10% body fat intelligently. Like you could probably do it quicker, but we're trying to do this without like screwing up your body composition too much. So I would say about 4 or 5 months. If you're in an intelligent caloric deficit and you work out intelligently, you can definitely see your abs by then. But that's the thing, is if you have to be dedicated. And if you don't mind me asking, are you a guy or a girl? Because girl, you're not gonna want to get to like 10% body fat. If you're a guy, you probably can and be okay. But a girl, you get too low, it's gonna start causing hormonal imbalances. Oh, you're a guy, okay. So yeah, I would say about 4 to 5 months if you do everything correctly. Um, a good workout for that, any type of hypertrophy training. Um, that's a very broad question. That's too general of a question. What is a good workout for that? You could do workouts in thousands of different ways, different tempos, different rep ranges, different exercises. If your goal is just to look good, you can do so many different. You don't know what is what. Oh yeah, no, like Sean, it's all, yeah, you're right. It's all individualistic. Like women aren't going to be able to get as low of a body fat percentage as men will. Obviously, fat has numerous uses and purposes. For like nerve transmission, um, uh, all types of things. Temperature regulation, hormonal processes in women. So, it just depends on your goal. Like, I mean, if you're an advanced athlete, and it's harder for like an advanced athlete, for example, to have simultaneous goals. If you're a beginner, you can get stronger, gain muscle, and lose weight all at the same time. If you're a brand new beginner, I'm telling you, just an intelligent caloric deficit. So you need to find out how many calories you're burning, and you need to subtract about 20% from that. So if your total daily energy expenditure is like 2,300 calories, you need to take 20% of that, which is around 460 calories, and eat less than that. And consistently do that over a period of time. Um, and by beginner, I don't mean like your strength. I'm talking about how fast you progress. Well, like, no, the thing is, like, for example, if you're an advanced athlete, advanced athletes should not try and cut and get stronger, for example, at the same time. If you're advanced athlete, you're already probably pushing. Well, and it depends also how lean you are too. But someone who is an advanced athlete is going to, they're pretty much towards the top of their genetic ceiling for their strength. So if you start cutting, you're probably going to drop strength. But if you're a beginner, you have a lot of gains to reap from like neurological adaptation and skill acquisition. So a beginner, even if, for example, a beginner would still gain muscle on a cut, if they're doing it right. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, I just try to help. You get some weird people who will pop in live streams around your page, but um, yeah, like the other people that you before you guys. But yeah, if you sub, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I try to just help people with the science and shit, and yeah, but you get people on YouTube and Instagram, and they can do what they want, but they take all this gear and they start shoving needles up their ass, and they get super low body fat percentage, and then everyone thinks that they know what they're talking about because they look a certain way, and that's not how we should dictate whether or not someone you know knows what the hell they're talking about. I mean, I think that someone who I never think it's a good idea to not lift and talk about fitness, because then again, it doesn't really make someone inclined to listen to you. It doesn't motivate them. Oh yeah, yeah. That's I honestly troll comments are funny. I don't even care if people troll. Um, I mean, trolling is trolling. That shit happens. But I mean, yeah, that's my goal is to help people with fitness, and a lot of people give the same bullshit advice, and I don't know if I say something pretty solid. I'm pretty sure I can show you like like a meta analysis or some form of evidence to back up what I'm saying. So a lot of people in the fitness industry, they don't really know. They don't even look at the science. Now, I don't think science can tell us everything, but you got to bridge the science with the practical experience. You can't just fucking go by science. But I didn't even know people did that. They just look up live Q and A's and then just, what are you guys, like, bored or something? I mean, I guess it could be funny. Find a live stream and just like fuck with them. It says so since I'm a beginner, what are good body fat workouts? There's no body fat workouts. You could no type of workout in a vacuum is going to like get rid of body fat. A workout's a workout. Now a workout can help you expend more calories, but I don't think you should use workouts as a means to manipulate calories. If that's why you're working out, that's not an easy way to manipulate calories. The best way to manipulate calories is through your diet. So don't think of workouts as like this is a fat burning workout. There was really no such thing kind of as that. Because if you're in a caloric surplus, if you're eating excess calories, it doesn't matter what you're doing for your workout. You're not going to lose weight. What up, Hunter? How you doing, man? What's your question, Sean? Shoot. So yeah, so fire. Yeah, that's what I would. That's what I wouldn't. Don't think of workouts like that. Think of them as like a. Ooh, that's kind of weird. What branch? What branch in the military were you in, Sean? I was in the Marine Corps. Um, the only thing I could say would be two things. Well, this is just my educated opinion. I don't. This is kind of almost outside my scope of practice. So take what I'm saying for a grain of salt. But one, I don't know how you were doing the Navy. I don't know if you're holding your breath during the crunches. If you hold your breath too much, you might be constricting and doing the Valsalva maneuver, which does raise blood pressure, which could make you feel like you were about to pass out. So one, I didn't look at that, and two, maybe you were doing something with the circulation in your neck. If you're like crunching too hard, you could be cutting off circulation right here, and that could be making you be dizzy. But it probably was one of those two things. So yeah, so the circulation, or if you're holding your breath. A lot of people don't realize it, but they hold their breath to get like artificial stability. Now you can use the Valsalva maneuver as an advanced lifting technique, but you kind of have to be careful with that because again, you could end up feeling like you're gonna pass out or something. I'm pretty good, Hunter. Just staying busy. That's what you gotta do. Stay busy, doing work, working out. Got to work out later on tonight. I got to go to the gym and work with some clients. Um, Man, the Navy. I'm not just kidding. Are planks good ab workouts? Planks are good to work your transverse abdominis. So it's good for like abdominal compression, but your rectus abdominis' main function is to flex the spine. So if you were trying to like build your like six pack, planks aren't the best thing. But for like core stability and stabilization, I would say planks are good. You can ask me something after I hide you on the channel. There you go. Ask away. There you go. Ask whatever you want. Uh, that was a beautiful comment. Your comments they were hidden by me. What? That's your comment? Uh, yeah, it probably was the breath, man. Just breathe properly, and then maybe don't flex your neck as hard, and see if that works. Remember, don't excessively breathe either, because if you excessively breathe, that could also make you feel lightheaded. Um, Aaron said, you're worried on structural workouts. If I work too many muscle groups, I'll be dealing with glycogen exhaustion, right? No, it's gonna be really hard for you to like deplete your glycogen like that. I wouldn't. There are other negatives to working out too often. I don't know what you mean by too often or hitting muscle groups, too many muscle groups. So no, I wouldn't work if you're within a reasonable amount of volume. Don't worry about glycogen depletion. Um, Low Fire said, so I'm a basketball and football player. You're gonna be a freshman next season, so I want to work on my explosiveness, speed. What are good workouts for that? Um, it just depends. Like that's a really broad question. There are so many workouts that you could do to work on that. I mean, but the second thing is that's a tiny bit outside my scope of practice. I'm more for like a hypertrophy and strength coach than I am a sports performance coach. You would have to find a coach or work with someone who specifically trains. Like you would have to find like a strength and conditioning coach for football. That's what it would be. I'm not a strength and conditioning coach. Uh, but even then, even if I think if a strength and conditioning coach seen that question, that's a really broad question. There are dozens of workouts you can come up with. My PC specs, I think I'm like here. Let me. Uh, I have it's an Omen, so I think it's um 16 gigabytes of RAM. The graphics card is an NVIDIA GTX 1070, 3.6 gigahertz. It's an i7 7700. Yeah, yep. So pretty much what I got. I don't know if that gives you what you want. I was gonna build my PC. I was working with someone to help build it, but this is when the graphics cards were up in price because people were buying the graphics cards for the crypto mining or whatever. So when I tried to build my PC, it ended up being more expensive than just a pre-built. So the guy that was helping me just said, if you don't know how to put it together anyways, the pre-built will just be simpler to do right now. So that's what I ended up. Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good PC. I've like I tried games and put them on max settings and it can virtually handle everything. Aaron said, "Thanks for covering the issue. No problem." He said, "On the other side, if you train one branch of muscle groups per day, is that overtraining? Example: chest, bags, legs, shoulders, arms, for instance. Do you mean all that in one day?" No, it just depends on how much you do of each of those. If you're doing like 5 to 10 sets on chest and 5 to 10 sets on back and 5 to 10 sets on legs and 5 to 10 sets on shoulders and 5 to 10 sets on arms, that would probably be overkill. You just have to limit the amount of volume you do on each of those muscle groups. So if you're going for like a total body split is what you're talking about, then one group per day. That's not overkill. Well, it also still depends on how much you're doing. If you're doing chest one day and you're only doing 5 to 10 sets of just chest, that's not overkill. But at the same time, if you're only hitting a muscle group once per week, you're kind of limiting yourself because each day, in theory and what the science shows, for every person the number is different. Each day can only handle so much volume on a muscle group before you hit diminishing returns and before you actually start to regress. So you make gains up to a certain point, then it starts to have diminishing returns, and then you start to regress. So if you try to dump all your chest on one day of the week, you might be doing too much for that muscle group. And even if you aren't doing too much, you could probably still see better progress if you were to split it up between 2 days. So I don't recommend just throwing all your chest on one day. That's not my. I wouldn't do that. Shanta, unrelated question to muscly stuff. Any dumb stuff happen in basic? Oh, hey, I have a weird story. You should check out my video on that for my. I spent 14 months in boot camp. On training day 7, I tore my ACL and tore my meniscus on both sides and fractured the top of my tibia. I fall off the O course, and my knee just got fucked up. And then I spent that time waiting for surgery and recovery in the med hold. So I was in there for forever. So I had a fuck ton of dumb shit happen in basic. Some guy tatted his ass with the fucking little tat gun they had. All types of shit. Like there's some shit I kind of don't even really want to say too much. But yeah, a lot of dumb shit, man. People be sleeping in the whiskey locker and like they would come up and fucking. That's not that big of a deal. But then when you get all fucked up for it and yeah, they just. Oh yeah, fuck ton of new guys. Guys come and go, come and go, come and go. All types of dumb shit. Well, like you know what happens is I'll kind of talk about it. People get medication for their like injury. They'll be getting some strong ass shit to mask the pain, and people start to get bored. And since technically there's drugs on hand, you can kind of connect the dots. I mean, I'm not saying it gets passed around, but But I'm talking about like strong ass shit. Thanks, Hunter. I appreciate that. How old am I? I just turned 27, like a week ago. I just turned 27 like a week ago. But yeah, man, basic was fucking crazy. I got pneumonia in basic. I seen so many people come and go. All types of shit. I mean, there's a bunch of fights. I remember one time me and this guy were arguing. He took my whole fucking mattress and threw it out the window. So my whole mattress. I'm not joking. He just took the whole fucking thing and threw it out the window. Hunter said, I only have dumbbells. What exercises can you do? Push-ups, goblet squats, dumbbell presses, hip thrusts, curls, shoulder presses, slightly a different variation of face pulls, tricep extensions. I mean, thrusters. I mean, you could do like a single arm dumbbell clean and press. There's so many exercises you could do, man. So many. Why, Sean, you got any stories? What happened with you there? I'm sure you have some, had some stuff happen. Yeah. Man, I remember like one guy had a fucking, oh my god, there's so much stupid shit happening there. I remember one time we were whipping each other with towels, like as a game, like hitting each other. And I remember we all ganged up on this one guy. We just kept whipping him over and over and over. And he had fucking bruises all up and down him. And we forgot, like we weren't thinking about it, that we get checked at the night for that shit. They check they check your body to make sure no one's hitting you or some shit. We were all fucking taking ice bags and holding them on him the whole day just to make sure like they didn't have that shit at the night. But it was stupid. We had a guy about halfway through basic wake up in the middle of the night whining at the watchman to get the DS. We call them RDC, and the RDC comes over asking what the fuck's going on. Who's the? What's the RDC, like the drill instructor? Man, if someone tried to tell our drill instructor that they had blue balls, oh, we'd get so fucked up. Oh, okay, okay. I don't. Do they IT you guys in Navy boot? I'm not sure if they still IT if they. Oh yeah, I couldn't even imagine. I made my drill instructor laugh one time. We all got fucked up so bad for it. One of my drill instructors didn't really have much bearing when it came to laughing. If someone made him laugh, he would laugh, and then we'd all get fucked up for it. Good shit, Alicia. That's what I'm talking about. Just keep it up. But remember, it's about consistency. So one day is good, but if you're not consistently working out, you got to keep it up. Hey, if even if you don't watch my videos, man, if you just pop in the video and leave a like or thumbs up real quick, a comment, say, hey, what's up? I appreciate it, man. But anything real quick helps. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Just keep it up. Alicia, just keep it up. Whenever you get a chance, go for a walk. But you need to watch what you're eating too, okay? So if you're working out and you're not watching what you eat, you are not going to lose weight. Now, don't starve yourself, but watch what you eat. Yeah, yeah. Our backs are hurt from carrying you Navy guys. um, yeah. But thank you. um, exercise. How much time a day? It depends. That all depends. I work my workouts are like 2 hours. I don't expect everyone else to work out 2 hours. Yes, oh, you should just watch what you eat. You need to focus on those two things: consistency and watching what you eat. Consistency. So it's good to do good for a week, but can you do good 10 weeks in a row? But yeah, Hunter, that's what it is. So it all depends. Like I work out for 2 hours. If someone doesn't have much time, you don't need to work out for that long. You could do 30-minute workouts. You might need to up the intensity or do little tricks where you need to kind of get more volume in that shorter amount of time. But it's going to be a little bit different for like yours or mine. So everyone's workouts just dependent upon what you're doing. So yeah, it just depends. Honestly, just have a goal and fit your goal. Well, that's the thing too, is be careful with that because motivation is good, but you can't always rely on motivation because there's gonna be a day where you're not motivated, you're not in the best mood, you've already took your days off, and you have to work out this day. Sometimes you gotta realize that it's okay to bitch, it's okay to whine, it's okay to throw a tantrum, just get the shit done. Sometimes you gotta be an adult and just say, I got this shit to do. Cry when you're doing it. Who gives a fuck? If you do it, you do it. The second you start like cheating yourself out of that, it's not easy. It's not easy to be consistent. But you got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Hunter said, I have time, exercise how much time of day. Again, it just depends. Like, if you're a beginner, you're not going to work out as much. That's a really open-ended question, man. Like I would have to find out where you're at in your training age. Um, how serious are you about your goals? Because someone more serious and is disciplined can work out more often than someone not. Um, yeah, so there's lots of different things, you know. If you have any injuries, like what's your goal? Are you aiming for strength? Are you aiming for hypertrophy? Are you aiming for both? Uh, so I mean, if you just want a number, just stick to an hour. An hour is a good amount of time. An hour is a good amount of time that you should be able to finish a workout and be fine. What sort of cardio works best for assisting resistance training for strength? I would say something. I think any cardio works fine. The main thing with cardio is you just do not want to do too much. You do not want to do too much. Um, I would say like something to like low to moderate intensity. Tell myself what's up. But yeah, I would say something a little more low to moderate intensity, 30 minutes, a couple times a week. Yeah, I just don't do too much. Honestly, I think that finding the best cardio, the thing is, as long as you do cardio, that's good. Thanks, Hunter. I appreciate you stopping by, man. Thanks. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, Aaron, I would just say, it depends on why do you retract your messages, Hunter? You did that last time. Um, you don't want your like footprint left or what? Oh, okay. But yeah, so Aaron, I would just say it just depends on what your you could pretty much I would say just do anything. The main thing is you just don't want to do too much. Uh yeah, that'd be the main thing. If you start doing too much, it's just gonna start messing with the adaptations that your body's doing with the strength training. Because again, lifting is gonna have opposing adaptations to cardio. So if you did no more than like 30 minutes of cardio per session and no more than 4 sessions per week, I would say you're good. If you start doing 6, 7 sessions of cardio a week and you're doing more than 30 minutes, that's probably going to fuck with your strength. And then also, don't do cardio before you lift ever. Do it later on after you lift, or do it on a separate day entirely. You do not want to do your cardio before you lift. That's probably like numerous studies have shown that strength just drops off if you go from cardio to lifting. It's just not, you know, you don't want to do that. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, Hunter. I wouldn't say it's so much from glycogen. It's probably it's just due to fatigue, just fatigue. It could be due to glycogen. Uh, the actual mechanistic reasons I'm not so sure about, but there are studies that show that they would test test like power and strength output after a bout of cardio, right after they lifted, and it just was not the same. So no, so yeah, you want to do cardio after the workout or at a separate time entirely. Like sometimes I'll box in the morning, but then I'll have like 8 hours until my workout. I'll get some rest. I'll have like 3 meals. That's okay. I haven't really seen nothing bad about that. But if you some people will do cardio at the gym and then right after their cardio they'll go straight into lifting. You don't ever want to do that. That's probably the worst thing you could do. Do your regular warm up, but then go into lifting and then do your cardio after. Taco Tuesday. I can't even eat the tacos you guys are probably gonna get. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it. No, there are other people. I learn from other people all the time. You know, everyone should take this and apply it, but I take this and apply it is you should never get to a point where you feel like you can't learn from someone. Now, I do think that for the most part, yes, you are right like that. Like most people just don't really go for a research based approach. They kind of just use a lot of personal anecdotes and and yeah, they kind of use the anecdotes and I don't know, basically personal experience, and that's it. They don't look at research or science at all. And that's the bad part, you know, and that's the hard part. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of the people that I like, you know, and I don't know. I think we just have to bridge that gap. We need to look at the science and combine it with our practical experience and take those two things and apply it to the individual. But like as a trainer, I need to take the stuff that I've learned in the gym, combine it with the research, and then look at the person that I'm working with and say, okay, you know, what are their goals? What do they like? Uh, and yeah, go by that. So I can't just go by, you know, just my experience, or I can't go just by science. I have to combine the two. But yeah, so appreciate it, man. Thank you. And you guys just got to keep supporting the evidence based community. You know, like don't even really pay attention to the people giving out shitty info. Uh, there are a lot of people who do give out the evidence based um, content, so we got to support those types of people. But yeah, there's a lot of people that I follow. Greg Knuckles, Eric Helms, Jeff Nippard, Omar Isuf, uh, all types of people that I follow. And yeah, you can't act like, you know. I mean, I don't want to think that there isn't there are always going to be people doing good in fitness, but the second they but I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of people out, you know, there that don't use research and they don't use science in any form of a way. It's all anecdotes and stuff that they watched on a YouTube video. That's pretty much the bad part. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Let me know how your guys' day's going. Again, my day's going pretty good. Busy so far. Enjoying it. So regular what? Tuesday? What's today? Tuesday? Yep, Tuesday. Um, gonna have a regular busy day. Yep. Later on, after this, I got like an hour before I go, hour and a half before I gotta head to the gym. I'm probably take care of some things, maybe do some Spanish. Been working on that. Really want to get to learn Spanish. I'm half Mexican, so I don't want to. I hate not knowing Spanish. Is the issue? I'm learning. It's getting there. Pretty good. It's just it's hard. Learning another language is hard. I started Russian for a little bit. This was a couple years ago, and man, they got like their alphabet's not even. It's not even like our alphabet. Like I forget. Like I guess Spanish it was different because like it's pretty much the same alphabet. I mean, it's the letters are pronounced differently. There were a few new ones like the Aya sound, which is still kind of like the our alphabet because it's like a Y in a weird way. But um, but yeah, the Russian ones, shit, there's like lines and bells and fucking. Some of them look like emojis and shit, and I'm just like, what the hell? I didn't get it, but yeah, I was trying to learn that for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I can't try to learn Spanish and Russian at the same time. Um, it's not really easy. It's extremely hard. So I'm gonna learn Spanish first, and then I want to go to Russian. And before anyone asks why I want to learn Russian, I just think it sounds cool. I'll be able to talk to next to nobody learning Russian. Uh, because I don't know anyone that speaks Russian around where I live. But I mean, I guess it would be cool to learn it. I mean, that would be another challenge. I would definitely go slow on that though. I would not go. Um, I would definitely not go fast on it. I would take my time with that one. Spanish, I'm not. I'm kind of going fast on it. Not like rushing it in a bad way, but I mean like I'm I'm doing it every single day pretty much. There might be a day or two throughout the week I don't, but almost every single day I'm doing it. Russian, I'll probably do like a every other day thing with that. It might take me 10 years to learn it doing it that way, but I mean, hey, I'm not trying to, I'm in no rush. With Spanish, I'm trying to learn it like within 3 years. So I'm like, I think I'm like 4 months in of pretty strict, 4 or 5 months. Um, it depends on what her goals are. For the most part, I don't really, honestly, in my opinion, for the most part, I don't think that women should train that much differently from than men. I don't think they should. Uh, I think that's kind of like a little just misinformation. I mean, there are very minute differences between men and women with like recovery and things like that. But for the most part, we know that, there's a certain intensity level you have to have with your workouts in regards to percentage of one at max. There's a certain amount of volume you need to be able to progress to see more gains in regards to hypertrophy. But some people that I'll link them down below here. Let me see. Some people that I follow. Here you go. Here's one. No, you're good, Gabe. Don't trip. Aaron, there's one girl that I follow. I really like her channel. She's probably the best girl on here that I like to follow. And then here's another girl. So those two girls are really good channels that I like. They're evidence based. Uh, very good content. The first one that I put, Meg, she's better in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Uh, Stephanie, she has good content. I just think she kind of almost followed in Jeff's footsteps. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying that it seems like it's more of Meg's passion and her lane than it is Stephanie's. But definitely check that out. But no, you're good though, Gabe. Don't trip. You're good. My streams have been consistently better and better with more people. So I remember I have a stream at like not one comment, but Ref T Pope said my friend has mad obesity, like he's really fat. Will he explode if he keeps this up? No, but he may. I mean, he might not be able to walk through doors, or he might not be able to get into a car. Um, no, you're cool, Aaron. You ask as many questions as you want. He can't walk. Uh, yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't think he'll explode, but well, if you consider that offensive, then I hate to tell you, man, it's you probably shouldn't be on the internet. I don't know what you want me to say to that. Sorry, like tell him to, you know, get really good at something that's not too physical. If I were in a wheelchair, I would just fucking play games all day and get good at games and just like dominate the pro scene or something. That's what I would do. Or just be on Twitch all the time. You can make money with Twitch and shit if you get big enough. The best way to strengthen your back? What do you mean? Like, do you mean like that's kind of a broad question. I mean, strong back with a wide variety of compound exercises. Um, yeah, I would probably. You could do Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not. What is that? Euros? What up, Punisher? Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate that. You're actually the first super chat of the channel, so. No, no, no. It does. It does. I was just curious. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you have any questions, don't feel like you're asking too much, man. Uh, Thanks, Alicia. I appreciate it. You said you've been doing rows and pull downs, and I've plateaued and not improving strength anymore. It probably has nothing to really to do with the exercises. It's probably your progression. You could take one or even a couple exercises. You could honestly do this with one exercise, but I could take one exercise like a bench press, and as long as you have a proper progression system, um, then if as long as you have a proper progression system, you should be able to keep progressing. The thing is, as you become more advanced as a lifter, you're gonna have a slower and slower progression rate. So, for example, like a beginner can simply add weight uh, uh, every single workout or every single week, and progress because they're getting a lot of neurological adaptations and skill acquisition. So if you keep doing that over time, you're going to have to go to a slower progression system. So instead of just adding weight week to week, you might need to drop the reps as you add weight. So that would be like a linear progression model. Again, it gets kind of complicated, and I can't explain every progression scheme. So, Gabe, what I'm trying to say is I don't think it's the rows and the pull downs that are messing you up. What's causing you to plateau is your progression system. So, if you don't have a progression system in place, according to your level, then you're not going to be able to progress. Um, that's cool though, man. From Wales, that's tight. I only know of UK, which is weird. I know of the area over there a little bit because of battle rap. You guys had you used to have a big battle rap league over there. I hate to say this, but ironically, it flopped kind of, and it's called Don't Flop. So, but yeah, there are other battle rap leagues popping up. I know Premier Battle League is popping up too, but I watch battle rap, so yeah, there's a lot of guys over there that I kind of follow. Thanks, Alicia, for sharing that. I appreciate it. What's up, Punisher? How you doing? I remember you. I remember you. This is like a couple months ago, wasn't it? Months ago, 6 months ago, maybe something like that. I guess it's more than a couple. How's your life been, man? Um, Alicia, you said what exercise is best to burn fat in the lower stomach? There's no exercise best to burn fat in the lower stomach. It's you have to be in an intelligent caloric deficit. You can't spot reduce. So I wouldn't like there's if you're not eating less than what you're burning, no exercise is going to do anything to get rid of fat in your lower stomach. That's just put there by genetics and how much food you're taking in. Aaron said, "Do you stay up to date with nutritional research? I noticed you got a shout out a while back from Vegan Gains." Yep, yep. I love his channel. I seen the opportunity, and again, me being a vegan trainer and him being a vegan kind of health fitness debate channel, I was like perfect opportunity. And I've been an authentic fan from him. He's actually the person who turned me vegan. Um, I went vegan because of his videos. So I felt like it was a perfect time to do like a little sponsorship with him. But yeah, he's uh, so yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I do stay up to date with the nutritional research, but it matters in regards to what do you mean. I don't stay up to date with like every single like every single diet or diet fad, but when it comes to little 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 differences in certain things, then yes. I have a research review that I follow. I don't know if you know what a research review is, Aaron. Basically, a research review is I follow four people. They're Eric Trexler, Eric Helms, Mike Zordos, and Greg Knuckles. They're 4 people. They come together. They dig through all the latest exercise science research. So any good late research, new research that's prevalent or that's useful for bodybuilders or strength athletes, they put the best ones. They analyze the studies and they put them in one magazine issue every month. So that helps me stay up to date with the latest research. Instead of spending hundreds of hours of my own work, which I couldn't even do on my own because they're better at analyzing studies than I am. But even if I could, it would take me hundreds and hundreds of hours to do that a month. There's no way I'd be able to do it all on my own. I pay $20 a month and then they do it all for me. So yes, I stay up to date with pretty much the latest research that has to do with physique and strength athletes, which includes nutrition. So yes, I do. Oh, the people that I follow, or they're kind of those people, but also too, Alicia, check out the links that I said above. Those 2 girl channels, those are probably better for you, because they post the same evidence-based content as the people that I just put in the last 2 links. Like, go to the first link I sent like 8 or 10 messages up, the Meg squats. Or yeah, I would follow those people on Instagram. You can follow them on Instagram. That's probably the best. Instagram, but follow on the links above are on YouTube. So if you have a YouTube channel, or you can just look up Meg squats on Instagram. Thanks, Punisher. Yeah, I can't remember, what was your name before. You said you were here before 1K subs. Gabe said, I try to go up in weight with every exercise every 1 to 2 weeks, but my back has stayed the same for almost a month. Okay, so what that's telling me, Gabe, that's a beginner progression system. You've probably milked the beginner progression system, and you can't keep staying on a beginner progression system. The more advanced you get in training age, the slower you progress. You're trying to progress too fast, which is why when you're doing this, when you're adding weight, you're not going up, because you can't go up, because you need to be on a slower progression system. So you need to be on something like a linear progression system, which again, it's kind of too hard to explain all in one video. So yeah, so it's kind of hard to say, but that's probably your problem, Gabe, is just the progression system. That's probably what's screwing you up. That sounds horrible, Sean. That sounds weird, really weird. Are you making that up, or did that actually happen? That sounds like some comedy shit right there. Honestly, Punisher, that's what sucks about the fitness industry, is that like a lot of the people who have those crazy shredded physiques, almost slightly cartoony developed physiques, you know, even if they say they're natural, you could never really know. I mean, look at Michael Hearn. He says he's natural, and anyone in their right fucking mind knows he's not natural. Um, oh yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's kind of ironic. He's anti-vax, and the books hit him in the head, and maybe the books are telling him he needs to like soak up more knowledge or something. I don't know. Maybe they're like attacking him or some shit because he's anti-vax. They're like, fuck this fool. We're about to take him out for the sake of humanity, or I don't know. That sounds weird. Yeah, read me. Like absorb the knowledge. But yeah, Punisher. So that happens all the time. I mean, oh yeah, Simeon Pandy. He's one too. Clearly not natural, but does he still claim natural? I don't know if he still does, but if he does, he's not natural. He's not natural. The other fool, Ulysses, he's not natural. with his gyno. Uh, Mike's not natural. I'm pretty sure those are the three biggest ones that claim natty that are not natural. They're clearly not natural. Now, if you don't mention the fitness shit, like if you don't mention gear, we clearly know who's on gear. That's just not saying it for like sponsorships and shit. We know. I mean, like, I don't mean this in a bad way. Look at Strength Cartel and Big Boy. We all know they're on gear, but they're not denying it. They're just not talking about it either, which is fine. They're not denying it, which is kind of like an unspoken. We're not talking about it because what's the point of bringing it up? It might hurt sponsorships. It's not. We all know he does. I mean, it's him. He's deadlifting and he deadlifted and squatted 900 pounds. There's no way he's natural. But I'm not. That's not even a knock against him. I like their channel. Who gives a fuck if they're on shit? When you start telling everyone you're natty though, nah. One, you're a lying piece of shit, and two, you're giving like beginning lifters like a lot of false hope. So so yeah, I wouldn't yeah, it gets annoying with the fitness industry sometimes. So yeah, Punisher, it's kind of hard to be like, you know, I don't know. That's just what happens. It just said, and all who do these people put false hope out there. I can. Oh yeah, it is. It's false hope. It is. It's very false hope. I think we're putting in young lifters' head a distorted view of what it is to be fit. You know, I don't give a fuck how hard you work. You're not gonna look like Michael Hearn or Simi and Panda just from lifting. Like it's not, it's not a good idea. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. People are gonna have this sort of view of what a good physique is, and it's just not. Um, it's gonna be bad. I mean, that's not natural physiques. They can be really good physiques, but I mean, there's just, you kind of know what, like, you see enough like lifters, and you realize, okay, like, and it's even hard to tell these days because so many people are on gear. I've worked at multiple gyms as a trainer, and pretty much every single trainer, every single gym that I've worked at has had at least a handful of trainers that were on shit. At least 4 or 5 trainers that were on shit. Um, and again, that's not a knock to them. Some of them are open about it. Some don't deny it. So that's fine. But I mean, it does distort the that image of what people think they need to look like from lifting. And then when they realize they'll never achieve that, then they kind of contemplate, damn, what if I should use gear? I want to look like that. No, no, you're good, Punisher. You're good. But yeah, it's a where are you at, Punisher? Where are you from? You're probably on the other side of the world, huh? Or you just have a really weird sleeping schedule. Oh, I haven't been getting his ads recently, but I was getting his ads before on that dumbass um what is it? The body type little quiz shit he had. It was fucking stupid. The whether you're, ectomorph, metamorph. Aaron said I have some shoulder issues when raising my arms above my head. An exercise example would be from military press. Raising my arms is no problem, but with the decline, my shoulders click, causing inflammation. Have you heard of this before? I've heard of like shoulder problems like that before. It could be due to uh, it could be just due to like a lot of issues going on, like overworking your shoulders. It could be your form of how you're doing it. But you could just be having like in shoulder impingement. It could be like the bursa in your shoulder being inflamed. It seems to not happen when lowering my arms with an empty can. Yeah, it could just be that specific amount of intensity. How are you doing the overhead press? I know, like, I don't. There's a lot of stuff I learned from lots of channels, and I don't follow any one channel in the sense of it's like a holy grail and the authority, because I myself too, but other channels too, including myself, have been wrong on one or more issues, you know. So, but one thing that I do like from Athlete X is one tip that I do agree with him on. I agree with him on a lot of things, but like this is one of them, is overhead pressing. If you have your arms too out here and you overhead press from this position, you could be getting shoulder impingement. That could be causing it. If you have your arms kind of slightly in front of your body when you're pressing instead of out here, more in front of you, that helped me in my shoulder pain. So pressing from this position instead of this position helped a lot more for me. I used to have bad shoulder impingement. Like I used to get like a stabbing pain in my shoulder. Um, um, but what do you mean? Is that like how are you raising your arms though? And have you had prior injury before? You might. I mean, if you can't, if it happens with nothing in your, are you getting pain? Yeah, you might just need to get an MRI, man. Is it like is it like abduction of the arm laterally, or you're talking about like an extension of the shoulder from the front? I mean, a flexion of the shoulder from the front. So like a lateral abduction, a flexion of the shoulder. But yeah, injuries are again a tiny bit. They definitely are outside of my scope of practice. But I mean, I'm just giving you my expert opinion on that. But I mean, if messing with your technique doesn't help, and you're not doing something out of the ordinary, like I've had people come up to me and say their shoulder hurts, and I ask them like what they're doing, and they're doing like 35 sets on chest a workout. I'm like, yeah, you're doing way too much. That's an obvious fix. But if you're not doing too much in the gym, you probably just have shoulder impingement, man. Do you do a lot of pressing exercises? Like, one, do you do a lot of pressing exercises? And two, have you had a shoulder injury at all ever in your life? Because sometimes you can have good form. If you have good form, that's not the only cause of the injury. If you just do too many pressing repetitions from good form, even with good form, you could have cause a problem. So it's just an overuse injury, maybe. There's so many things just to look at too, like posture. Do you work your rotator cuff? Because if you have a weak rotator cuff, that could affect everything. Most people I ask, if they don't work their rotator cuff, um, that's an issue right there. So if you're not doing specific exercises to target your external rotators, not even necessarily your internal rotators. Most people's internal rotators don't need any more work. They're already getting enough internal rotational work from like pressing movements. Um, so if you don't do exercises again like external rotations, things like that, face pulls consistently, and it's not just face pulls. Face pulls are a great exercise, but there are other exercises to target your external rotators. Then you probably have a weak rotator cuff, and that's going to affect the overall stability of your shoulder, which can affect overhead presses. Yeah, if you're that's definitely a bad combo. If you know you're doing too much pressing and you're not training your rotator cuff, that is a horrible combination, man. I can tell you right now that if you just again, I don't know how much pressing you are doing. You could not be doing too much, um, but if you feel like okay, I'm doing it often, I'm doing a lot of sets when I do it, um, and you're not working your rotator cuff, that's definitely a cause for lack of stability in the shoulder. Okay, then yeah, that's probably an issue. And that's another thing too, is a lot of injuries come from overuse injuries over time. They're not due to blunt force trauma. They're due to repeated tiny over years. Okay, then that's probably what you need to do is cut back on the pressing, include maybe a little bit more mobility work for your shoulder, and then strengthen your rotator cuff. When I did that years ago, when I've had like multiple, I don't want to say evolutions, but multiple, like, I guess for lack of a better term, like evolutions in like my training for myself, and just getting better. And I remember when I just had shoulder pain all the time. I remember when I first started training, I couldn't even bench the bar because my shoulder hurt that bad. But over time, I just fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it with good warm ups, working on my rotator cuffs a lot, good form, and then balancing my volume over multiple days. So not doing too much pressing, and yeah, my form. Punishing said even I had hip synovitis, and it messed up my lifting for 6 months. I lost my rhythm, and recently I got inflammation in the hip, as shown by MRI scans. What do you suggest regarding the training? Um, that's kind of, I wouldn't know, man. I would definitely talk to a physical therapist on that, man. I would definitely talk to a physical therapist. Um, but yeah, Aaron, shoulder problems are like, they're annoying as shit, man. The shoulders are very like just, it's a lot less stable than the hip, but it has a very large range of motion. That's what kind of is the trade-off for the shoulder, because it has such a large range of motion compared to the hip. Like it gets a lot more issues more frequently, from what I've seen in people and from what I've seen in myself. So I mean, even slightly bad bench press form can hurt the shoulder. Too much pressing can hurt the shoulder. Weird movements can hurt the shoulder. I mean, so yeah, it's a lot. But I mean, Aaron said, I would honestly, Aaron, well, those exercises don't, they work your rotator cuff, but not directly. I would just challenge your external rotation directly. If you look at a face pull, you have this motion going on, which is technically an external rotation. If you look at your humerus, it's externally rotating. It's rotating backwards in relation to you. You're not rotating inward, you're rotating outward. So face pulls to directly challenge external rotation, but this also challenges external rotation, going back. And if you have your elbow out to your sides, rotating backward, that also challenges external rotation. So directly challenging those with like a cable or a resistance band, will help. Because the muscle groups in your external rotators are your infraspinatus, your supraspinatus, and your teres minor. Those are the direct external rotator muscles. Now, other muscle groups may influence and assist with that, but those are your direct rotator cuff muscles for external rotation. Um, so I would just challenge external rotation directly. Trying to work your external rotators through movements like that, I don't believe is the best way to do that. So definitely challenge them like directly, with those movements. Maybe I'll do a video on that or something too. But yeah, yeah, they're good for. They can be okay for warm ups, but you still need to challenge them. They're still muscles, you know. Like I wouldn't go heavy or nuts on them. Don't train them like you would like a squat. Like you're not. Don't go into like the three rep range for a rotator cuff or nothing. But I mean, they should be generally challenging, just like you would with a any other exercise. Have good form, good control, and challenge them directly. Don't do too much volume. And I would probably do them at the end of your workout. The reason being is besides the warm up, because if you do them at the beginning and get them real tired and weak, they're not going to be really strong for your main lifts. And then at the end of the workout, you hit them, and then they recover for the next time you do it. But yeah, no problem, man. You definitely got to challenge them. But like the exercises you were listing, the bent over rows versus Terry's major cable pull downs and the reverse flies, those don't directly challenge external rotation. The external rotators might assist in those movements, but there's no rotation of the humerus going on in any of those exercises at all. So I would look at that. Gabe said machines or free weights. If your goal is hypertrophy, you can get optimal hypertrophy from either. So it doesn't really matter. I would say a combination of both. Uh, Start with free weights and maybe work to machines towards the end of your workout, since free weights are going to be harder stability wise. If your goal is strength, strength is specific to whatever exercise you're doing, so just do that exercise. But for hypertrophy, I mean, you could use no free weights and only machines and gain muscle fine. But in my opinion, it's a combination of both. I would always start with the free weight exercise. You know, like on a push day, start with bench press. On a leg day, you could start with a squat or a deadlift or something. You know, or a hip thrust, uh, and then work down towards machines since they are more stable. But I do think machines do have the added stability, and when you have very high stability during an exercise, you can properly overload that muscle group. So it does help. So yeah, so I would say a combination of both. Gabe Gaming, a combination of both, starting with free weights at the beginning of your workout. Punisher said in India, all these doctors want money. Hard to find a genuine ethical doctors here, JP. Yeah, I mean, I don't live in India, so I can tell, but I mean, it's kind of the same thing over here with personal trainers and people, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to talk shit on other trainers. I'm not even gonna. I don't even say names when I say this, but I mean, like I tell them, if the shoe fits, fucking wear it. They must be feeling mad about this for some reason, but it's the same thing with personal trainers. It's most trainers don't. They barely done anything at all to call themselves a trainer. I know a lot of trainers who aren't even certified. Um, I mean, that's the very. I'm not saying you need to be certified to know what you're doing, but I'm just saying that's like the very. I mean, how else can we tell we know you know what you're talking about? I mean, we have no real good measurable bar in personal training that says you know what you're talking about. Certification doesn't tell us that because certifications are easy to get. I mean, the only thing we can go by is what you're saying and what you're doing, and I don't know. That's we can't necessarily I don't know. You can't just quiz people. So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but yeah, it's a lot of people in the fitness industry. They really don't care about the person. They all just want money, 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 and attention. Money and attention. That's the two biggest things in the fitness industry. If they got a lot of likes on their photos, if they get a lot of followers, which that shit's cool if you have good goals, if you have good intentions. But if someone's main intention is to get attention, that's not really honorable. That's your main primary goal is to get attention. And then if you're just only in this for the money, that's not really right either. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't. It's kind of funny, yeah. But that's the fitness industry in a nutshell, man. And then you got those honorable few who always kind of shine through and give us the um, good info. Omar Isuf, Jeff Nippard, Athlean X, like I said, Greg Knuckles, Eric Helms, all those people. Good people, good people. Alan Thrall's good too. All these people are they're good fitness channels. They're good overall. They're always pushing forward and doing good for the rest of the other channels that aren't good either. And that's what I'm just trying to be at in that group. Put out the evidence based content. Show you guys the workouts. Later on, I'm gonna shoot some more clips for my vlog, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be uploading my next vlog. So that'll be uploading tomorrow in the afternoon. Um, Other than that, yeah. So I I'm gonna be uploading that tomorrow. And what else? I'll probably do another live stream on Thursday or Friday, and maybe I'll just do a fitness video. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I kind of need to think about that. But regardless, though, I will have one more live stream sometime this week. I honestly will often. That's the thing is with frequency. I'm always a big advocate of a little bit more frequency, and logically because of the abs and their function and in our and like our bodies. That's one thing I agree with Athlete Next on too, or another thing because I agree with him on a lot. I don't agree with him on everything though, but not in a bad way. You know, he doesn't agree with me everything, but I would say train. I'm always a big advocate of higher frequency training. So I would say abs 4 to 6 times per week, minimum of four. Now if you're a brand new beginner, you could probably get away with doing it 2 or 3 times a week. That's fine. But I'm talking about once you get past that initial beginner phase, 4 to 6 times a week is a good number. You don't need to work out abs for a long time. And yes, I would avoid doing anything before big compound lifts. Anything. I would never do cardio unless it's a warm up. If you were doing a warm up and then like rehearsal sets, like working up, like doing sets to work up to your working weight, that is the only thing I would do before a compound lift. I would not do anything but that. So like if you have squats first, I would do your general warm up to get your body temperature a little bit up. Do your rehearsal sets, like squat with the bar, maybe a set or two with the bar, then work your way up in weight until you get to your working weight. Um, okay. Oh, so you didn't mean directly before. Yeah, that's fine. A day before is fine. I don't know how you train core. Some people do like full on core workouts. I mean, like for an hour and shit like that. I don't do core like that. That's one thing that I don't do. Like I could come up with a good core workout, but I don't. I do the Athlete Next has a little app. I actually do his app. So um his core workouts are only like 7 minutes. So I do core 6 times a week, 5 to 6 times a week, no less than 5 times a week. So yeah, so I'm definitely doing them with it. So yeah, you can do them the day before. That's perfectly fine. Yep, that's no issue. Day before, you could even do it a few hours before. I just wouldn't do them right before you have to squat. I definitely would not do that. So yeah, so to answer your question in a nutshell, I would train core 4 to 6 times per week, abs, obliques, and core. Um, but no, you don't have to not train them before a day before or nothing like that. And I don't. Do you use a weightlifting belt, Aaron? Punisher said, "JP, are you gonna play PUBG Mobile? I think you should live stream PUBG Mobile." Probably not, man. I'm limited on time, and when I do play games, there's a couple games I'm kind of focused on right now. Like I've been telling people, I just beat Devil May Cry 5 the other day. I really liked Devil May Cry. Like it was just uh good story, good game, and I'm about to start replaying that too. Um, and then besides Devil May Cry, I've been playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. But yeah, streaming, I'm actually taking a hold on that. I started dabbling with it a little bit, but I wasn't in the best living situation to start streaming because of the Wi-Fi and the internet connection I had. I could stream right now, but I just don't have enough time for it. So maybe at some point, man, but just not now, Punisher, for the streaming. Later down the line, when my channel's huge and I have more time and it's easy for me to like juggle multiple things, I'll probably stream. Aaron Smith said, "I do not use a weightlifting belt. Is it necessary to strengthen? No, it is not necessary. Weight belts are not necessary. Now, if you want to eke out every little ounce of benefit you can get, I personally think that if you want to get really strong and remember, I don't think you should use a weightlifting belt for every exercise. I personally think weightlifting belts are good for maybe like 4 exercises: overhead press, squats, deadlift. That's actually, I don't use belts for anything but those 3 exercises. I use them for those exercises, and that's it. But I think if you're trying to eke out every little benefit you can from those 3 lifts that I said right there, or for lifts that are like those big compound lifts, then I think that a weightlifting belt, what it does is it helps you get more stable in your core. If you take a big deep belly breath of air in and push against the belt, you're getting tighter. So yes, a weightlifting belt will help you optimize your performance and let you lift a little bit more weight. It will, because it increases your stability. But do you need a weightlifting belt to lift good? No, you do not. You can still create your own stability internally, but it's still not the same as artificial stability from a weight belt. A weight belt, in my opinion, if someone had a master weight belt, and then if you had a clone of that same person, a clone of them, and they mastered without a weight belt, but they both mastered weight belt, no weight belt, the clone that mastered the weight belt, in my opinion, is going to be able to overhead press, squat, and deadlift more. That's just my opinion. That's what studies have shown, and that's just from logically what a weightlifting belt does. It's going to help. But do you need a weightlifting belt? No. Some people just don't. Like what Clarence Kennedy, he doesn't use a weight belt simply because he doesn't like how it looks. He says it doesn't look athletic, and that's a perfectly valid reason to not use a weightlifting belt. They probably don't look athletic. Now you have someone else like me who's like, for powerlifting, I follow powerlifting, and because I want to get every single last little pound I can out of my squats and deadlifts, that I use a weightlifting belt. But again, I train my core separately, and I only use my lifting belt on like 3 exercises. Again, overhead press, squat, deadlift. You have some people who will slap on a weightlifting belt and they're like walking around with it everywhere. Their curls, they have it on. Their fucking bench press, they have it on. Bench press, you might be able to get away with it, but I personally don't think there's a point of using it for bench press. Some people do. For powerlifters, they do. Some powerlifters do. But all the other shit, like curls and fucking and seated presses and shit like that, pull-ups, like fucking why? Why are you wearing a weight belt? I don't get that. I really don't see the point of that. And so if you're one of those people, I wouldn't just slap a weight belt on and start walking everywhere with it. That's just not. It doesn't. No, that's not good. All right, good night, Punisher. See you, man. Appreciate it. All right, you guys. I think that's gonna be it for today's stream. I appreciate the dono, Aaron, the super chat a ton. You're actually the first super chatter on the channel. And your name's gonna be on the highest super chat until someone puts up a better super chat, and then for the most recent super chat, you'll be there until someone else does it too. If you have any questions, Aaron or Punisher or Gabe, anyone, you can put them on any of my videos. I should see them. If I don't see it, spam it. I don't care. You guys are cool. Just comment again, or follow me on social media. You guys can message me on there too at JP Fitness Pro. Thank you guys for the likes. Again, thank you, Aaron, for the super chat. I appreciate it a ton. Again, being the first one, it means a lot. You guys coming in here, liking my stuff and commenting when I'm live streaming is cool. Tomorrow I'm gonna have my next vlog out. So if you guys want to see what kind of food I eat, what my gym looks like a little bit more, just check that out. I'll probably talk a little bit about my day. Thanks, Gabe. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you guys fucking have a channel, if you guys are posting stuff on your stuff, let me know. Link it to me on my YouTube videos. But I appreciate you guys and everything. Just trust me, it means a ton. So thank you everyone. Anyone who's commented, Alicia, Gabe, Hunter, Aaron, Punisher, Sean, the weirdos at the beginning, Lil Fire, and Icy. She's not weird. He's not a weirdo, but there's a couple weirdos at the beginning, asking some weird shit. But thank you all, you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow and later on this week. Peace.